The fans who stayed are on their feet here in Cleveland. Pritchard. It's good. Yeah. A silencer from Payton Pritchard. He's got 40.
40-piece wing dinner.
And he finished with 42, just one shy of his career high 43, which happened back in March against Portland. Welcome everyone to Celtics Postgame Live. Wow, this one came down to it, 117-115, the final. I mean, welcome. We got Chris, we got Eddie, and the Celtics now sweeping the Cavs as of right now, handing them their ninth loss of the season. The Celtics now improved to 11-9. Chris, what is your takeaway from all of that chaos down the stretch?
Well, I mean, you start with Pritchard, who was fantastic. Eddie was on here pregame, help wanted, begging for someone to give JB a little help. So JB gets the triple-double, but it's Pritchard who goes nuts out there. Huge in the fourth quarter. What was it? 15 points, 4 or 5 shooting, makes all 6 free throws. Got the ball across half court, did all the little stuff. I thought Pritchard was fantastic tonight, and they kind of desperately needed it. The thing that resonates with me is now the Celtics are 33-11 on the second night of back-to-backs in the Joe Mazzulla era. And it hasn't mattered who's not there, whatever the circumstances may be. Cleveland making a furious rally. They've more often than not found a way to get it done. And after last night's disaster in the second half against Minnesota, it was refreshing that they just found a way. They got contributions from Xavier Tillman, from Jordan Walsh. All the little guys chipped in as well. This was a feel-good win. And now 2 wins over what everyone kind of thinks is one of the better teams in the Eastern Conference. It makes you feel a lot better about where this team is at.
Only can echo everything that you just said. You know, at the end of the day, it was about help wanted. And they walked by that place and said, oh, yeah, we need to be employed. You know what? We want to be a part of this. And they came in, Walsh, Simons, JB did what he did. Payton Pritchard showed up, obviously, in a big way. Tillman was definitely a big part of what happened in the first half, playing well in the first half. And I think that, you know, it was a collective. You know, collectively they did it together. And the only way JB could get all those assists is if he's trusting his teammates to make shots or to make the right play. And so I look at it in that light. 23 for 29 from free throws, though. Think about that. We went to the free throw line and we made our free throws. We didn't miss them. We made them. And so that's why we get this victory.
Yeah, and you mentioned it, too. You have even guys like Hugo Gonzalez who gets that steal, then hits a 3 in just very minimal minutes, but it mattered. And Payton Pritchard, we can talk about him all night. 42, 15 of 22, 6 of 11 from downtown. He stands by with Abby Chin postgame.
Payton, second night of a back-to-back. You came out ultra aggressive, firing from the jump. Finished with a season-high, your second 40-piece of your career. What was the mindset?
Just disappointed off how I played last night in Minnesota, so I wanted to come out here and give them everything I got tonight and try to pull out this win off the back-to-back.
You battled early foul trouble.
Yep.
This team, I mean, Donovan Mitchell did what he does. Yeah, how were you all able to maintain your composure?
I mean, star players are going to make big plays. It's hard to stop them, so it takes a team to stop those guys, but we did a good job. We pulled it out. They made it interesting at the end, but yeah, we found a way to win.
Down 2 starters. Jordan Walsh, X, stepped up. How big are nights like this for that reserve group?
Especially for X, being a pro. He ain't played some games now and came in and he was huge. His energy, but he's always professional. So moments like this, it never surprised me. And Jay Walsh did a great job defending, made big plays, rebounding, all that. So it was great.
And then what more can we say about Jaylen Brown? A triple-double tonight, has not missed a game yet this season.
I mean, he just affects the game in so many ways. He can score like you seen last night, but tonight, triple-double, helps get our team going. So, he's an exceptional player. He's a top player in this league.
Payton, thank you. Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
It took everyone. Payton Pritchard, 42 points. You heard it there, triple-double for JB, 19, 12, and 11. And Jordan Walsh also with a double-double. And here's the season series against the Cavs. Up 2, 1 more to go on March the 8th, but they get it done in the very last seconds of this one, 117-115, the final. Let's bring in Drew and Scal, and I believe, Scal, you must have made a call to Payton Pritchard because you called this thing from the jump. You said, hey, Eddie said help wanted. You said, I got the guy. It's going to be Pritch. You said it a little differently.
You said Pritch, though?
I said Pritch. I looked him right in his eyeballs, and I was like, Pritch. One thing I will say is he just had what the kids call aura when I saw him today on the bus 3. Because Drew was on bus 2. I got bus 3. Bus 3 had aura.
Bus 3 had aura, not because you were on it, but because Pritch was on it. 42 for him. I mean, man, he's just incredible. You know, when we were getting off the air, we're talking about his mindset. Honestly, Scal, if the Celtics played 200 games in a row, back to back, he'd play in all 200, and he'd probably average about 50.
No question. And he wouldn't complain about it either.
He'd love it.
That's what he loves to do. And my man's a hooper. Those guys that love to compete, want to win, love to play, like those guys are the ones that never have any problems on back-to-backs.
Yeah, it was awesome. At halftime, you know, we're here in the stands here at Rocket Arena, and a guy came over and he said, what does Pritchard average for the season? I was like, 16 and a half. And he had already surpassed that, of course, by halftime. I think he surprises people on the road. If you don't really pay attention to the Celtics like that, you're like, who's that little white dude who's cooking us? Well, it's Payton Pritchard because he's about that life.
Well, they don't expect him to drop 40. Like that's a little bit odd, but we know the guy. We know that he struggled in Minnesota. He didn't like the way that he played in Minnesota, so we know he's going to bounce back. That's why I picked him as my step-up guy. Now, even me, I'm gassing him up. I didn't think he'd go for 40. I thought he'd go for like 27, 28, something like that. But him going for 40, he was locked in, and he had foul trouble. If he didn't have that, he might have had 50 tonight.
Yeah, he was stewing all day after the way he played in Minnesota, which he told Abby he was disappointed about. And then how about Jaylen Brown? I mean, I'm just so impressed by this guy. In a league where, you know, nobody maybe except for Payton Pritchard plays every game. Jaylen Brown's 20 for 20 this year, and in Game 20 on the second night of a back-to-back, a triple-double.
Yeah, really impressive day for Jaylen Brown as well. And what was cool about it is he allowed Payton Pritchard to go. Like, you have it going. And we had that stat where 19 games in a row, we didn't shoot more free throws than our opponent. Well, Jaylen Brown had a lot to do with that today. He was getting downhill. He was aggressive. He was getting to the free throw line. Celtics want to shoot more free throws than their opponent. That's why the season has been, very average at this point. But if they can start trending, play better defense, not fouling, get to the free throw line, it can make a big difference. Like, those free throws are critical. You get to 2 points and usually get a really good chance to set up your defense.
This is a very impressive win, Kayla. Had some travel issues last night trying to get out of Minnesota. Did not get to Cleveland until the middle of the night, overnight. And to win this one on a back-to-back on the road, a place where Cleveland has not lost a lot this year, that's a huge one for the Celtics.
They may have even done it for you guys because they,
Kayla.
Yeah.
Kayla, can I get a good solid Pritch?
You look him dead in his eye sockets and you tell
See that in there? I got you, Scal. I want you to say Pritch, please. You guys get home safely. We'll see you guys back here.
But you said it.
I'm going to be saying that all day. 117 because Pritch did his thing here tonight. One shy of his career high. I was so waiting for him to get to 44, but hey, the Celtics, they'll take 42 because he balled out. You see their triple-double for JB, Jordan Walsh, a double-double. These guys get the win with 0.6 seconds left on the clock, but they pulled this one off and beat the Cavs. All right, we got more Celtics post-game live after this. 3 steals for the night for X in his first start. And Xavier Tillman did his thing. He did, and he was, Eddie, I really love the help wanted sign because those 3 steals, like sometimes even not racking up the stat sheet, he did finish with 9 points on the day. But what did you make of X from start to finish?
Well, I thought he brought a lot of energy, number one. Number 2 is being a professional. You might, again, this is how it goes sometimes for guys that are on the back end of the bench or guys that are trying to break the rotation. You're gonna have chances to where you could show like, hey man, I could really do this. I could really be out here and I can help this team. And being a true professional is always being ready. Ooh. And he was ready right there, diving on the floor for loose balls, getting that steal right there. So I can't do nothing but salute that man for being a professional.
Yeah, and Chris, you see those rebounds too, 6 on the board. But that hustle play that we just showed between him and Jordan Walsh, just ripping the basketball, those plays, like that for me, I feel like that gets the team hype. Like, you're looking at guys who are like, oh, okay, like X is diving, throwing his body on the floor to save the ball when you thought that ball was going out of bounds. Even when he doesn't get all the minutes in the world, night in and night out, for him to show up the way he did in different ways was, to me, like check off the box in terms of help wanted.
Tommy points, baby. Like, just get on the ground, make things happen. He had to be like sitting there waiting for his opportunity, and I'm sure it's frustrating at times to get those DNPs, but Joe Mazzulla presses the right button tonight. We all said, like, what way will he lean with the center position with no Nemish Queta? And we kind of suspected he wouldn't go with the rookie, although Amari got plenty of his minutes tonight. But to roll the dice a little bit with Xavier Tillman and be rewarded with both great play. You know, he defended Evan Mobley great out of the gates. Mobley got hot at various times. That's a tough cover when he's got so much size and versatility. But I thought X really competed out there and gave you minutes that you desperately needed at the center position and made good things happen when he was out there. It's for X, this is the way it's going to be. It's just going to have to now wait for your next opportunity, and who knows when that will come. But if they do have to kind of plod along here with Queta with this ankle, you know, hopefully there's the chance for him in this 5 games and 7 nights to have a further impact. But ultimate respect for a guy who stays ready, knocked down one of his threes, had a couple other looks that could have fallen. You know, that's what being a pro is. And everyone keeps thinking, because sometimes you look at him and you go, oh, he must be 35 years old. No, he's still 26 years old. He's still grinding. And I love the way he brought it tonight.
Yeah, I mean, even Mobley, 27 points here tonight. X was still an X factor on the board. Yeah, that was, I flexed a little too hard. 3 steals, 6 rebounds, 9 points for X. And it came down to it, 117 to 115, the final. It came down to it so much that we haven't even really relived the fourth quarter. So coming up next, we're going to relive the fourth, because it came down to it with 0.6 on the clock left in the game. But the C's go on to win it. Plus, we're going to go back inside the locker room, because, Eddie, we got Celtics post-game. Coming up next. Welcome back into Celtics post-game plus. Look, this thing, Chris, it got dicey right to the end. The Celtics had their largest lead of the game, 21 in the third quarter. And then it really went into the fourth quarter, where it's like everyone is holding their breath, because it was a trade-off between the Payton Pritchard 3, Donovan Mitchell 3, which I'm going to show you in a sec. But
it wouldn't be a Celtic win if they weren't up 20 points, made things super interesting. Sure. And then hopefully hung on to the finish line. Like, look, some of these games have tipped the wrong way. So I appreciate that they found a way to get to the finish line, right? You had just a great effort by Payton Pritchard down the stretch to find a way to get to the finish line. But, man, give the Cavs credit. I thought they were done at various points of this game. And they found a way, Kayla, to make it interesting and at least force the Celtics to make plays down to the finish line. Let's
roll the tape. Let's go back to the fourth quarter, because we want to show you guys. We're going to start with 45 seconds left in the fourth. Donovan Mitchell hits a 3 here to make it 112 to 109. So Payton Pritchard, of course, he's been having himself a night, to say the least. Get a little mid-range 2, 114 to 109.
Probably nothing interesting happens from there, right? That's all.
Oh, wait. No, we thought it was nope. Here he is. Mitchell, again, with a 3. 114 to 112. Sees up 3. 15 seconds left. Pritchard, he does go to the free throw line, knocks down 2, but Garland then hits a 3 to make it 116-115. Jaylen Brown, he goes 1 of 2 at the line, and then Mobley, with the 0.6 seconds left, no, misses it. And he had 27 on the night. And Jaylen Brown is thanking
that's the
heavens.
Perfect reaction from Jaylen.
Yeah.
A little thank
doing
you.
this, because JV did. I mean, he going 12 of 16 at the free throw line, and then you don't even think about, like, if you're Jaylen Brown or any of these guys, you rarely think about, oh, I'm 12 of 16, I'm whatever. You're thinking, hey, I need to sink this. And you go 1 of 2, give the Cleveland Cavaliers an opportunity there. Thank the Lord, and he's literally probably thanking the Lord that there is 0.6 seconds left and Mobley can't even really get anything off.
The biggest play in that whole sequence to me was when they had to get the ball over on a short clock, and Payton Pritchard dribbles through 3 guys and gets it across the line, ends up getting fouled, goes to the line, makes some of his 6 free throws. There were just little things like that where the Celtics have run into trouble this year. And just having that steady presence of Payton being like, I can dribble through 3 guys and make sure we get it over in 3 seconds. That was the biggest thing, just giving yourself a chance to get to the free throw line and make plays. So sometimes it's shots, but sometimes it's just being disciplined and making the right play. And so Pritchard did it well beyond the 42 points tonight.
Yeah, and you see it there. Celtics survive. They do survive. They even survive a, 21-point lead. 21 is their largest lead this game. And of course, it comes down to 0.6 seconds and they win. But they win. So and Jordan Walsh was a big part of it, getting a double-double here tonight. Let's get back to him in the locker room. The experience from the locker room is presented by Experience Abu Dhabi. Discover more about the incredible city at visitabudabi.ae.
Jordan, with each game, it's not a good play call. How much more confidence do you have in your way to impact the game in every which way?
I mean, obviously it's grown since, the first time I played. Obviously these starts, starting 8 consecutive games, whatever it is a build, a layer to that. I mean, just having the guys believe in me, having the guys play me and trust me, pass me the ball, tell me to shoot it, tell me to guard the best player, tell me they believe I'm going to play great defense. Like those are all things that are just building confidence.
Was it help knocking down that first shot?
Oh, it's great because then the rim looks 2 times bigger than what it was. So now I just kept attacking. They kept finding pass for me, and then I just started getting offensive rebounds and other rebounds, and it just started kind of falling together.
Take us through. The Hunter had the ball, and then you saw the ball, and it looked like you were like, "That's mine." Mm-hmm. But usually they call jump, but they kind of didn't, and you just took it. Like, can you take us through that?
Yeah, I stole that. I low key, I seen the ball, and I went for a jump ball. So like I was kind of just holding on to it, and I held on to it for a second, and they didn't call jump ball. So I was like, all right, matter of fact, let me just get that. And just so I took it, but I literally thought it was going to be a jump ball, so I wasn't even thinking, like, take the ball. But so it's crazy how it happened, but it's crazy how it happened.
Xavier, when did you find out you were going to start tonight, and what goes through your mind at that point?
This morning, I found out. Literally just walked up next to me right before we had film. It was like, hey, you're starting on Mobley tonight.
What were you trying to do?
What do you mean?
Against Mobley.
He's a really good mid-range and paint scorer, so I really was just trying to keep him out of there the best I could, and he's also a pretty good free throw shooter as well, so just not foul him or give him any easy looks at the rim. But he hit some good threes today.
Joe said he has trust in you that no matter how much you played the night before or whatever's going on, that you will go out there and follow the game plan. How do you manage that with the inconsistent playing time?
I'm a pro. This is my 6th year doing this. I know what it takes in order to be ready and be prepared in terms of the work, in terms of the focus on each and every game plan. Obviously it's frustrating when, you want to help the guys, but you got to find your ways to impact the game. So if you're out of the rotation, it's watching film, and then it's coaching those guys up, during timeouts, like, hey, this guy likes to go left, this guy likes to shoot, and doing things like that to help your team win. So, no matter what the situation is, you always got to, find a way to be impactful to the game.
And then how gratifying is it to...
I love the dad gang hat. That was awesome. You go, X. All right, time for tonight's Drain of the Game, brought to you by John Sewer and Drain Cleaning, the name to know when the drains don't flow. How about Ugo? Only a little over 7 minutes, but the 3. Woo! And a steal he had in this one, too, that led to that.
It was right before that.
Yeah.
What a stretch for Ugo.
That was big. And you needed it. Yeah, Chris, we're going to talk a lot of Ugo in the Celtics postgame podcast. I was almost going to say Plitzes. 117 to 115, the final. We're also going to look ahead because a quick turnaround in the Celtics. They take on the New York Knicks. We're going to dive into that right after this. Now for the dunk and dunk of the game. It's all about the dunk. Donovan Mitchell getting to the hoop. Boom.
Yeah.
He had 18 points, 7 of 16 was not all that. He wasn't himself, I guess, against what we've seen in the past. He was on that one. But what we've seen in the past against the Celtics. But look, Celtics take care of business. 2-0 against the Cavs. They have one more in March. But who they have next? The New York Knicks. And they have won 4 straight. These guys, I know everyone is familiar. They're 13-6. They beat the Raptors, Chris, today. Brunson Cat had a good game. I look at the matchup and I'm like, okay, who knows if Nemish Keita is going to be back. But even if he isn't, you saw guys like X, you saw some of these big guys step up. But what is it going to take to now take this win, move on to the Knicks, and handle business here?
Yeah, look, the Knicks have been good at home, not so great on the road. Celtics found that out in the second game of the year. And we'll find out what the Celtics can they bottle up a lot of what they've done well. It would help to have Kate out there, someone else to joust with Karl Anthony Towns and all the size on that roster. But it always seems to come down to Brunson and how can you contain him. He had a big night that second game of the year. So interested to see how the Celtics, match up. They'll be a little bit different. Early in the year, they were still kind of trying to figure out that starting lineup. Feels like they've locked in a little bit more with how good Walsh has been. But it just feels like, all right, Cavs are going through it a little bit, but you've now shown twice in these two meetings this season that you can play with one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference. And all their injury issues aside, can you do it with the Knicks too? Where, again, the Knicks have been very good in this stretch with the 4 straight wins. Celtics got to show that they are on that level and that regardless of who is available, they can compete.
All right, they're going to have to do it. And the Celtics, they're going to be back in action Tuesday against New York. Our coverage begins at 7 with Celtics pregame live, brought to you by TD Bank. And you know the drill. Stay with us for the game for highlights and player and coach reaction on Celtics postgame live, presented by your New England Ford dealers. And remember, you can stream all of our coverage on the NBC Sports app and NBCSportsBoston.com. The Celtics live stream is brought to you by your New England Cadillac dealers, the official luxury vehicle of the Boston Celtics. Handle business here today.
Little triple
double. Came down to it. Payton Pritchard, one shy of a career high, 42 points. I mean, this one.
We should just expect this. Every time we think the Celtics are going to have a tough night with the
against one of the against top teams.
Starters, what do?
Yeah,
they find a way.
Fine. It takes dives. I love this. Go listen to the podcast because Chris is going to say some great stuff. It's a happy pod.
And you got to apologize to Jordan Wall.
I sure will. I'll make the call right now.